What it is, what it do, and how the hell are all of you? With yours truly, Petrov, fucker, back with another mother lover. You already know the deal, my friends. It's been a wild one, man. It's been a wild ride, hasn't it? Hasn't it? Shit's really getting wild out there. It's just gonna be kind of just a whatever kind of a podcast. I'm kind of gonna touch on like some conspiracy shit, you know, there's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I don't really have a specific way to go. I do got some kush and half-pack cigarettes, so I got some time to kill. I don't know about y'all, but we gonna kill some today. Anyways, you know the deal. You already know the deal. Biden really fucked himself when he was, him and that auto worker out in Michigan had their little spat and that shit went viral. I mean, basically, Biden's at this point.
Finish him.
I mean, or this one.
Fatality.
Realistically, he ain't got a shot. He said, he told that man, pull your head out your ass. Or that's horse shit. Like, I mean, beyond him calling voters fat, saying go vote for another Biden. I mean, his gaffe after gaffe after gaffe after gaffe. There's no possible way that anybody can say, oh yeah, he's definitely going to beat Trump. In what world? In what world is he gonna? I just don't foresee it. Bernie, I think it'd be fun to see Bernie go against Trump. I don't think he could win because I don't believe his ideas. I do not believe he can get the masses to stand behind them. I just don't. I don't believe that I don't believe the masses want socialism. I don't believe the masses want anything to do with socialist policies. I believe it's a really fringe idea, and I believe, like a lot of people say, a lot of people on Twitter really want Bernie to be the man, but that only a certain amount of the population uses Twitter, and I think in the U.S. it's like 20% does. Well, that's not the majority. That would be a minority right there. So you're definitely. And even it's even a fringe sector of Twitter. But it's very easy to go on Twitter and get into an argument with anybody on the left or anybody on the right. All you got to do is look for a post. Follow a politician and you will find an argument. Or a political, or somebody that believes in political commentary or has their own voice that they use. AOC, she's not really running with fucking Bernie no more. Bernie really what? She wants to get rid of Border Patrol, and Bernie's campaign told her she got to calm down on that shit. You can look it up. I mean, I don't really have the article with me, but it's something that I'm just saying, like I'm spitballing here. There's some things that they have said. Ilhan Omar is under fire right now for marrying her political strategist, the guy that she said she wasn't even in a relationship with last year. I mean, I don't remember. I think it could have been the Daily Beast or could have been Blaze, one of the two. They actually basically like sent like a private investigator to follow them. There was pictures of Ilhan and Tim both bringing beer to like an apartment where they were both seen walking in and out of. Now, I think she fucked herself by saying that she married him because it just proves you're a liar. Is all it proves. I mean, she's had Somali leaders of the community come out and say that she did marry her brother. She's been in trouble for campaign fraud. Finance fraud, not campaign fraud, but campaign finance fraud. We used money for things she shouldn't have used it for. I mean, yeah. Oh, and not only that, one of her biggest competitors, who is also a Muslim woman that's in Minnesota, I forget her name, but she was on the Rubin Report. She made a very, very damning claim that Ilhan Omar has missed more votes in Congress than she's been there for. And the only ones she's there for are ones that aren't for our country or the United States, but they're for other countries. So she could give a fuck less about voting for her actual district in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, but she'll vote on something else that we have that really, she probably should mind her own fucking business. But hey, watch the Rubin Report between Dave Rubin and like I said, I forget her name, but it was a very good episode. Watch it. You might learn something. Speaking of AOC, her and Gabbard are working together. Her and Tulsi Gabbard, who is still running in the presidential race. Who knows fucking why, but she still is. Wasn't on the debate stage, that's for sure. They're working together on on universal basic income during the coronavirus. Now, I don't think they're looking for afterwards. I don't. Maybe Tulsi Gabbard isn't, but I know AOC definitely would love that socialist idea to stay in play, even after the virus is wiped out, cured, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Whenever it passes, that's what they're looking for. You can find the article at newsweek.com/Tulsi Gabbard. Alexandra, you can type out their whole names, but I'm assuming if you go to newsweek.com/Tulsi Gabbard and AOC, you're going to find the link right there. But they're looking, like I said, universal basic income for all adults, and they're introduced. It's the article says they introduced legislation on a Friday that would provide $1K a month to every American adult until the Department of Health and Human Services declares the outbreak over. Gabbard also said in a statement, coronavirus pandemic has created a threat to the health and the well-being of American people, as well as our country's economic stability. Well, while some in Washington are focused on taking care of Wall Street, everyday Americans get left behind. That's wrong, Gabbard said. It's always been like that, I think, in the grand scheme of you're always going to have people that protect I guess you'd say most important people before they protect people that aren't the most important. But I also don't believe that. Like, my personal opinion is Tom Hanks and his wife has coronavirus and my homies don't. So, I mean, maybe Tom Hanks pissed off somebody in the world, maybe they gave him the coronavirus. I don't know. There's definitely conspiracy about it. There's a whole fucking spiel of conspiracy on Facebook. There's no way I'm going to read that fucking post on my podcast, but it's definitely conspiracy ridden. I'm sure everybody's reading it at this point. It starts off with Justin Trudeau, and then it goes into the pedophile rings, and then so on and so forth. So it's fucking stupid long. But back to this. Gabbard also said she's introduced a resolution that prioritizes people. Prioritizes people, so our economy relief is placed directly into the hands of every American rather than getting stuck in bureaucracy or ending up in the pockets of big corporations. So I definitely believe Tulsi would like to help the American people, but when you have AOC on the cause, I don't necessarily believe it's a wholehearted thing. I just don't. I believe AOC is trying to push an agenda why she still has a chance left in office, because there's like 20 people gunning for her position. So. And I mean, AOC's statement, she tweeted this is one of her statements to it. This is not the time for half measures. We need to take dramatic action now to stave off the worst public health and economic effects. That includes making moves on paid leave, debt waiving work requirements, guaranteeing health care, universal basic income, detention relief, and put this in parentheses, pretrial, elderly, and immigration. Now, I'm all for paid leave, debt, waiving work requirements, UBI. I'm not guaranteeing health care to nobody. You ought to give people money while they're out, while you're literally closing them out of work, so they can't go to work. So yeah, you ought to give them some kind of fucking money so they don't lose everything, because it's not their choice not to go to work. And when it comes to detention relief, if you're out in the world right now committing crimes, and it's not purge season, motherfuckers, because unless it's gotten to that point, I don't really know why you're out there just jacking whatever you can, fucking shit up wherever you can. People have been doing that forever, but now that there's a virus, we want detention relief. Nah. Criminals are going to do criminal shit. They're still going to get in trouble. They shouldn't be prosecuted any worse or any harsher because there is a virus. If you're still going to go out there and commit crimes, that's what you're going to do anyways. So there's just no point for that. So I'm not all for that. Like I said, I'm for a few things like the debt. Yeah, stop making so debt can't rise. I mean, fucking make sure there's money for paid leave. If that paid leave comes with the UBI, where companies or the government's able to give us money or whatever it is, I'm not saying us, but just using the American people as a thing. I mean, they got to do something, but I definitely don't believe that any of this, and in my eyes, AOC, she is a socialist, she's made it clear, she would want all this to stay in effect well after the outbreak's gone. I don't believe Tulsi Gabbard wants that, but I believe AOC does. And I know AOC will push for that. So, I guess we'll have to see where that goes. I know there isn't certain things for unemployment, pushing it, making it so it's easy. I think it's maybe a little bit easier to get. They're making it so it's not as long as a wait time. This, that, they're doing what they can. There's definitely just gotta see how it plays out. It's definitely some funny shit. I mean, there today, seen on Facebook, there was a link. The first person to get vaccinated with the coronavirus, from the coronavirus. Crazy, right? Fucking crazy. Her name is Jennifer Haller. Yeah, she was the first person that I guess got the vaccine for the coronavirus. And I'm only saying it like that to be nice because, let's be honest. It was also on MSNBC, so I gotta take that for a grain of salt. She said that she feels privileged to be able to step away from her flexible salary job. And she's excited to be able to help because she knows a lot of people, she said everyone feels helpless because they want to help. So she feels grateful that she's able to help. Now, the way she said things definitely felt like she was reading off of a prompter to me. There are a couple different articles, a couple different things that say she's a crisis actor. There are pictures of her with Elizabeth Warren, and we all know Elizabeth Warren has her own fucking problems, so I definitely wouldn't put it past that. I just wouldn't put it past that she could be a possible crisis actor, especially in 2020, trying to make people feel safe, whatever. Now, granted, it is a conspiracy, so I will say it's all alleged. It's just a conspiracy that I'm throwing out there. Like I said, this could be a conspiracy episode, because it's probably going to turn out to be one. I definitely think she's a guinea pig for the vaccine, especially because it takes 14 months to monitor, and it's an experimental cure. Granted, there is no way that they would have had anything, but I generally think if they knew... I mean, there's a lot of things that make it sound like the coronavirus isn't something new. It's not something new, so they've done work on it at some point, so you don't have a vaccine somewhat ready or partially worked on, or at least a paper written about a vaccine. So now it's got to be experimental, and this poor woman's got to be the guinea pig. I only say poor woman because she put herself in the limelight. So if you're going to get criticized, you put yourself there. They're not... Poor woman for having somebody stab some shit in you don't even know what it is. That's a guinea pig. Even the doctor said that it could take 1 year for it to even be basically a viable vaccine or a cure. And we have to rely, we have to, as the American people have to rely, and as the world have to rely on preventative measures at the moment. Until they can, but not to bank on the vaccine because it's a year away. At least. That's just something that, it's all over. Something that's new today. You can definitely check it out. Watch the video. It's like 7 minutes long. She answers a couple questions. Just seems like she's definitely reading a prompt or something. In my eyes, that's how I look at it. I mean, take everything with a grain of salt, like I tell everybody, take it all with a grain of salt. I mean, it is what it is, and I mean, there's just all the closures and shit happening and all that. Like, the panic is just setting in on so many people. I think people that are anxious and hate being stuck inside, that's the worst possible case scenario for them. All the stress from the closures for people with their monies, this, that, other thing. You don't want people to panic, but yet you about hit the panic alarm. That's how I look at it. Like, that's generally what you did, is you hit the panic alarm when you maybe shouldn't have hit the panic alarm. But there's I guess there's a panic. The stock market's down a lot. But it does fluctuate. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up. And there is truth to a lot of statements that says, it may be down now, but it will go back, it will rise again. It has before, it will again. So, I mean, hope for the worst, pray for the best. I mean, expect the worst, pray for the best, however you want to say it. It's definitely... Numbers are going to continue to spike. The more tests that are out there, the more cases are going to pop up. So in a sense, it's a good thing because people are being tested now. This, that, other thing. So we just have to hope, like I said. Hope for the best, expect the worst. You know what I'm saying? Just expect bad shit to happen. San Francisco basically closes up like a Ziploc bag. New Jersey got that 8 o'clock curfew. They're definitely. This is where the conspiracy comes into play. This is where I thought